evening, everyone. So we are going to continue on with the fourth video about the acid-base equilibria, where in this video we are going to talk about buffer solutions, which is a chemical shock absorber in here. So what is actually a buffer solution? A buffer solution is defined where the pH does not change much if a little acid or base is added to the solutions. So they usually offer extreme stability, ensuring the acid remain constant even after long exposure to air in here. So the indicator in here is to make sure that the pH remain constant. When take notes, we are talking only about little acid or little base is added towards the solution. Okay. So what are the components that makes a buffer solutions? So buffer solutions can be generally divided into two types. One is an acidic buffer, another one is basic buffer. So what makes an acidic buffer and basic buffer? Let's have a look together. So an acidic buffer is to describe consists of a weak acid and the salt of the weak acid. So the salt contributed the conjugate base of the weak acid, while the aqueous solutions, for example, in an aqueous solutions containing ethanoic acid CH3COH and the salt sodium ethanoate CH3CONA. So the mixture of these two will form what we so called as a buffer solutions. All right. So how do we explain the phenomenon of how the buffer solution works? So because now you have a mixture between ethanoic acid and sodium ethanoate, so inside this mixture you have two equilibriums that happens. First is a one-way reaction where inside aqueous solution the salt will dissolve completely to become CH3CO minus plus Na plus. Whereas since ethanoic acid is a weak acid, it dissociates partially inside the water. So that is why you see that there is a reversible signs that indicates that the reactions is reversible. So now inside this solution, you have generally three components. What are the generally three main components? You have a CH3COOH, you have CH3COO minus, then you have a H3O plus in here. So because you want to maintain the pH of the solution, all you have to do is to maintain the H3O plus inside there so that it will remain virtually unchanged. So how do we do that? So if you still remember about the definition of a buffer solution is a small amount of the solution is added to the buffer, so the pH does not change much. So how does the principles of the buffer solution works inside here? When you add a small amount of the H plus in the buffer solution, so the large number or the large quantity of CH3CO minus which given from the salt will automatically react with the H plus to form the CH3COH. So therefore you can see in here why does buffer solution consist of both weak acid and the salt is because anything happens to the mixture inside here. So one of them will respond in order to prevent the H plus or the OH minus to react in here. Okay. Okay, so this is what happens when you add a little acid inside the buffer solution. Whereas when you add a little amount of alkali inside buffer solution, what will happen? So when you add a small amount of the hydroxide ion inside the mixture, so the weak acid will react with water, hydroxide ion, okay, to form water in here. So what will happen as the result of where you have a small number of the H plus OH minus. So this one is from the acid, okay, plus OH minus. So using the previous example, you have pKw equals to pKa plus pKb equals to 14, right? Equals to 14 there. So inside here, you are going to use the same principles to explain why is it that at the end of the day, equilibrium is not disturbed when a little alkali is added. So when a little alkali is added, okay, so the H plus will react with the CH3CO minus. Okay, so you form CH3COH in here. Okay, so as a result, when you add a little base inside the buffer solution, so therefore there shall be no H plus lost throughout the way in here. That is how we are going to explain the buffer solution here. So that is how acidic buffer solutions works. So other than this acidic buffer solution, we have the other way, which is the basic buffer solutions, which are used to explain when a little acid or base is added to the basic buffer solution, the pH does not change much in here. So what does basic buffer solution consist of? It consists of a weak base and the salt of the weak base. So as similar to the acidic buffer solution, the salt contributed the conjugate acid from the weak base. So for example of a basic buffer solution, if you have ammonia aqueous solutions react with ammonium chloride mixture inside here. Okay, so the salt supplies the conjugate acid of the weak base in here. So a basic buffer solution has a pH around 7 to 14. So when you mix the ammonia with ammonium chloride, okay, so you have NH4Cl dissociate completely to form NH4 plus Cl minus. And then at the same time, you have ammonia. When dissolved inside water, you form ammonium ion and also hydroxide ion. Now this one goes reversibly because ammonia is a weak acid. So therefore, now inside the mixture, you have three main components. What are the three main components inside the mixture of the basic buffer solution? So you basically have the OH minus, you basically has the NH3, and basically you also have NH4 plus inside here. Okay, so this NH4 plus came mainly from the ammonium chloride. Okay, while the OH minus is come from the dissociation of the NH3. Of course, in terms of concentration, NH3 has a much higher concentration compared to the OH minus, which is very low. So our objective is not to disturb, because remember our buffer, it is a little acid or base is added to that does not change the pH much. So in another word, we try our best to remain the pH, the concentration of OH minus. So when pOH does not change, so therefore the buffer solution works in that way. Okay. So what happens when a small amount of the acid is added? So when a small amount of the acid is added to the buffer solution, so it will react with the OH minus from the buffer solution to form water. So as a result, the equilibrium of the ammonia shift to the right, producing more of the hydroxide ion, and therefore pH remain approximately constant. So that is how the buffer solution works in here. Whereas if a small amount of the base is added, so the OH minus will react with the NH4 plus to form the NH3. So as a result, the OH inside the buffer solutions will not be touched, hence remains virtually constant. So that is how technically the principle of the acidic and basic buffer solutions works in here. So acidic and basic buffer solution can also be produced when you are doing a titration, but when you are doing a titration. So let's have a look of how acidic and basic buffer solution can be produced during titration. Okay, so now for acidic buffer solution, an acidic buffer solution can be produced when you react the weak acid and strong base titration. Okay. So let's say if you have examples, the titration between sodium hydroxide 0.1, in another word, you have the sodium hydroxide inside this burette in here, which is then titrated with the ethanoic acid in here, 25 centimeter cube of ethanoic acid, 0.10 mole per this one. So given to you, Ka is equals to CH3COOH, which is 1.78 times 10 negative 5. So now the general reaction with CH3COOH plus NaOH gives CH3CONa plus H2O. So now, as for the beginning of the pH, so what is the beginning pH when the volume is equals to 0? So you use concentration of the H plus is equals to square root of Ka times C. So you substitute, as we already mentioned just now, the equilibrium constant of acid, which is ethanoic acid 1.78 to 10 to negative 5. So you multiply by the concentration of the acids that we prepare, which is 0.1. So you square root it, it becomes 1.334 times 10 to negative 3. Therefore, the pH is 2.87. So that is how you solve for number A. And then finally, number B. So you also have somehow in some way managed to form a basic salt when you mix between ethanoic acid and also sodium hydroxide. So the endpoint in here is somewhere between 6.2 to 11.4. So this is your endpoint. So the equivalent point takes the middle of the reactions in here according to the survey. So this is the point where you have the endpoint, and this is the equivalent point. So as you can see in here, equivalent point of the basic buffer solution is basic. So why is it basic? Because it undergo hydrolysis in water. Because the this undergoes hydrolysis in water. Okay, so as a result, when you have high amount of the CH3CO minus, right? So the CH3CO minus react with H2O to form CH3COH plus OH minus. So the two suitable indicator that can be used for this titration is blue and also phenolphthalein. Okay, so this is just the introductions towards the titration of the buffer solution. Let's have a look in details of how can we eventually determine the Ka from the graph of weak acid and strong base titration, shall we? Right. So as we already mentioned just now, the endpoint between the reaction of NaOH 0.1 with 25 centimeter cube of CH3COH 0.1, so they are different by the volume in here. So that is why inside here, it is the volume of the CH3COH. Okay, so we start the titration. Okay, start the titration. So as the titration begin, so pH will first increase very sharply here. Okay, until you found in the broad buffer zone. Okay, we found a broad buffer zone where the buffer zone is relatively big. Okay, so you are going to start doing these titrations in here in order to get what is the buffer solutions. So in the buffer solution, you have 6.84, 6.4, sorry. Okay, 6.4 what, sorry, pardon me for that. Okay, so we are going to start off from this one. Okay, as you titrate, okay, finally you met the endpoint. So as I mentioned just now the endpoint for the, let's say, ethanoic acid is somewhere in between this how many, oh, I didn't mention it here, somewhere in between 9 point something. Okay, never mind, you can calculate by yourself. All right, so in here, you can see that this is the endpoint which occur at 25 degrees Celsius. So the half, this is the buffer zone. So the buffer zone is the zone where the pH does not change much when the little acid or base is added to the solutions. So inside here, you label lah. This is your basic physics lab. So right, inside here. Okay, so this is the buffer zone. So it takes half of the endpoint for the titration. That means it takes 12.5 milliliter in here for it to form a buffer solution. This is where pH is equals to pKa, half of the volume of the solution, where this is where pH equals to pKa here. Okay. Okay, so finishing about the acidic buffer solution, we goes to the basic buffer solution. So in the basic buffer solution, you can form basic buffer solution during the titration between strong acid and weak base. So in here you have the titration between ammonia 0.1 with 25 centimeter cube of HCl 0.1 according to this equation. So you form NH4Cl. So the endpoint is located somewhere in between here. Okay, so as you can see, because bromo, blue, and phenolphthalein methyl orange intercepted the effective pH range, so that is why methyl orange and bromo, blue are suitable to be used as the indicators inside here. So where does the buffer zone here? In order to produce a basic buffer solution, so you must have a weak base plus the salt of the conjugate acid. Okay, so in this case, the buffer zone is here. The buffer zone is here, and half of the volume in here is actually indicating the pH. Okay, pH here. However, we are not looking for pH, we are looking for pOH. Then make it resolve in M1V1 equals to 1 over M2V2 equals to 2. Okay, then we straight away form this buffer zones in here. Okay. Right, so with that, that is how the buffer solutions can be obtained during the titration between weak acid strong base and strong acid weak base here. Okay, before we end our final video, so let's have a look at a little applications where I specially prepare for you the application of the buffer solution. So that. Okay, so the buffer solution can be used in chemical analysis where EDTA titration require rigid constant artificial maintained pH, environment yield to accurate reads in here. You also use in bacteriology where in culture the media, it must be perfectly buffered under fragile bacteria and can propagate without acidifying their own environment. As for fermentation, fermentation is also another subject which require you to memorize the formation of alcohol from the alkene where you react with the let's say uh, to form this one okay. Okay, and then you also have biological enzyme that has a hyper narrow pH limit without buffer, yeast die, and halt the fermentation. And then finally, for industrial process, critically manufacture the precise industry die and stable photographic. Okay, and last but not least, for the application part, we also have another one which is relatively quite important, which is the buffer solutions, blood as a buffer solution. So the human blood pH is strictly controlled at constant target 7.4. The carbonic acid and hydrogen carbonic acid are acid-base pair as perpetually sponge soak up the stray acid in the base producing in the standard condition. So and because of the toxicity of the substance, so the very oxygen carryability inside human blood completely depends on the controlling its pH with a strictly 0.1 pH unit of tolerance here. Okay. All right. So with that, that is for the fourth video, and I see you all in the next video. Thank you.